how to make it much more interesting and related to the grammatical aspects that we have during our class, content, and also how to relate it to the needs of our students. So as some of you mentioned before in the chat, ChatGPT is designed by a big business company, because we can call it now business company. It is OpenAI. OpenAI is a kind of generative artificial intelligence. It's a big company that deals not only with this site that is called ChatGPT, but they also create different applications related to medicine, related to science, a lot of investment. This company appeared in 2015. On the right, we have the founder of this, the person who thought about this idea. And on the left, I suppose you know this person, is Elon Musk. Elon Musk in 2015 liked this idea and decided to become the co-founder of this organization, OpenAI. Later on in 2018, he just remained to be the inspiring person behind the person who works with the idea, because his main goal was to develop Tesla cars. But nowadays he considers that this site is a scary good. Is a scary good because it provides a lot of opportunities, even if it is in the format of a text. Okay. Sorry. So if we are speaking about this OpenAI corporation, OpenAI is a non-profit artificial intelligence research company. And their goal is to advance digital intelligence in the way that is most likely to benefit humanity. So everything is done to improve the way that we are thinking, the way that we are learning, and of course, taking into account that nowadays we are counting minutes in order to save our time. So this opportunity is a spirit of liberty, as you have here. It is an extension of individual human wills. Some sample activities and other learning materials that can be used for teaching English with the help of ChatGPT. First of all, students can learn vocabulary, how to build a vocabulary. We can create different activities with the use of ChatGPT, where the students will generate sentences using vocabulary words, we can have them practicing using these words in the context, and we can encourage them to use the words in the conversation. Of course, grammar practice, because ChatGPT allows the students to write their own sentences there and ask ChatGPT if the structure is correct, if the usage of this grammatical structure or pattern is correct one. In such a way, the application will correct and will give them advice on how to use the correctly the specific grammatical pattern. Reading comprehension. The use of ChatGPT helps students to generate short passages on a variety of topics. It means that the level of the vocabulary the students will learn is different. Also, we can make the participants to read the passages and ask the questions on those passages, or also ChatGPT can provide the students with a list of questions that can be used to check the comprehension of the text. Conversational practice. ChatGPT is so smart that can create different dialogues. In such a way, it is not only one-way dialogue, because students can ask a question and they get the possible answer, but it is also possible to create a dialogue on a specific topic. If the students are interested about how to create a conversation on a topic that they are not, they don't know about this topic, the specific content, then ChatGPT may help them to create a content on the dialogue on the content that they would like to learn. Sorry. Writing practice. So writing practice may help students to generate different texts. Also, I tried it to generate different prompts for writing short essays. I will show you later how it worked. It works perfect when we have a topic, but sometimes the students are not very interested in the topic that the book advises, and in such a way, having another prompts on the same, with the same saying or with the same grammatical pattern may change the motivation of our students and help us to introduce something that they would like to do. Role playing, so in such a way we can create different ways when students write questions for a possible interview. See what way they can change the questions in order to lead the presenter or the person who is answering the question in a specific way. And ChatGPT can serve as an additional resource, providing participants with additional flashcards, quizzes, grammar exercises, and the different supplements that would help them to learn better. What skills are developed with the use of ChatGPT? First of all, vocabulary can be developed because students would learn different other aspects that would be generated by the system. Grammar can be also generated if we are giving them the specific grammatical structure we are looking for. And also grammatical sentences that the teacher, the sentences that are written by the students can be checked for errors and also can be checked if they pronounce them correctly. Reading comprehension, writing can be developed, listening and speaking, because students can be introduced with specific conversation on specific topics, and they can improve their listening and speaking skills. Cultural knowledge, even we will have later that some texts won't keep that information related to the culture of a specific country, and somehow there are people who are looking for the answers in order to correct or see if the answers are not connected to the reality, because information in ChatGPT is the information updated until the end of the 2021. And it means that if there are some mistakes are connected with the lack of information, or because artificial intelligence can't behave or can't think in the way that some cultural aspects are related to some people. Another skill is creativity, because it can be used to generate new and unique ideas for writing, learning, and different other activities that may encourage learners to think creatively. And the last one is pragmatic. It helps students to develop their pragmatic competencies by practicing various social roles and situations, such as initiating and responding to conversations, making requests, giving or receiving advice, making offers and suggestions, negotiating, dealing with complaints, and making small talks. I'd like to say that it's an art to know how to ask a question. ChatGPT will teach our kids, will teach us also to ask correctly the questions for the answers that we would like to have the answer. Okay. My screen is frozen. Okay. Just a second. I brought in this presentation some articles because I got the information about this site, I suppose, at the beginning of January. We were told by an expert, and I was looking for some information about this site. While I was looking, of course, I was asking myself if my students know and use this site. And I came, when we started the second term, I came with a list, not with a list, but with some articles I found online about ChatGPT. And do you know what? My students, when they saw the articles, because I assigned them tasks to read the articles and ask questions to every paragraph, they've read the articles and said, no, who wrote those articles? They are spoiling our activity. They are trying to bring something that will break our results. So please don't tell other teachers that ChatGPT exists and we can use it. So here is an article written by the New York Times, the Times, I suppose. It is, yes, the New York Times. Don't ban ChatGPT in schools, teach with it. This is the invitation for majority of the schools, because in New York, even ChatGPT was launched in the middle of November. By the beginning of January, ChatGPT was banned in majority of the schools in New York because teachers found out that it doesn't develop enough the creative thinking, critical thinking of the students, and somehow they are much more, it reveals a possibility for students to cheat online and to be sure that everything is correct. Also, all the texts that are created with the help of ChatGPT is very difficult to check for plagiarism. This is why we have to look not only for the possibility to ban it, because the future is not only to ban something that would help us to develop, but to look for the possibility to use it. Some advantages of using ChatGPT for teaching English. First of all, ChatGPT, one of the advantages is personalization, because if I need a specific information, I'm looking for that personal information, I ask the question and I get that answer. Of course, it can be possible to be done with a lot of the resources that we have online and a lot of the books that are available in our libraries, but it is going to take time. The second advantage is convenience. ChatGPT is available 24 hours, 7 days, and it can be accessed from every place in the world. Even the learners have busy schedule. The third advantage is variety. Variety related to the variety of responses. If the person has a question, it will provide an answer to the question. If the person has something like, I would like 10 more ideas about this topic, the system will write 10 more ideas. If you would like to have an answer of, summarize please this book. I don't have time to finish reading it, but I would like to understand if I really need to read this book. And ChatGPT will summarize the book for you. Feedback. ChatGPT can help learners identifying correct errors related to their writing or speaking. And it can improve their language skills. And of course, engagement. Why engagement? Because if you have a question and you don't have the answer, it is very difficult to keep that level of motivation. ChatGPT is a conversational interface that can be engaging for the students, making the learning process more interesting and interactive. And I go back to that picture where the teacher, you see, stays apart, and somehow this green cloud represents the artificial intelligence that is trying to bring the students the answers to the questions that they have. Here are the headlines that I found of the articles that I found and asked my students to read. As you can see, New York Public Schools blog ChatGPT. It was on the 7th of January, so less than 1 month and 2 weeks for the activity. Why? Because in the first 5 days, this site had more than 1 million people that subscribed and used this site for development of different ideas. Another interview that I've read was New York City Public Schools. Again, oops. Yes, this is the newspaper, not newspaper, but online article. Another one is New York Public Schools ban OpenAI ChatGPT. Another one, you have access to them because if you click on them, on the headlines, you will get the information about this article. And why do they ban? While the tool may be able to provide quick and easy answer to question, it doesn't build critical thinking and problem solving, which are essential for academic and lifelong success. This was the reason why the American teachers decided to ban this site. My goal is to show that it deserves to be used not only from the side of the students, but from the side of the teachers. So I'm not going to promote using this site through the students, among the students, because I think I agree that it will somehow spoil their desire, motivation and willingness to do something by themselves, and would decrease the results that they are able to perform during the process. Which are the disadvantages for teaching English? Limited feedback. ChatGPT can provide feedback on language usage, but it cannot provide feedback on other aspects of learning, of language learning, such as pronunciation and intonation. Lack of context. ChatGPT can provide a lot of information, but it can lack context, meaning culture, as I mentioned before, and cultural awareness. So it is important to have a teacher or a tutor to provide guidance and help with interpreting the responses from ChatGPT. Limited understanding of language learning. Because ChatGPT is a language model and it doesn't, it is not a language teacher. So it does not have an understanding of specific needs and goals of individual learners. Also limited ability to understand cultural references, because ChatGPT can miss cultural references and idioms, which can make it difficult for learners to understand and use language in a cultural appropriate way. Also, ChatGPT may not be able to understand the tone and intent of the conversation, because it is a language model again, so it may not be able to understand the tone and intent of the conversation. This is why a lot of people who are writing questions, they are writing also. Please don't forget to write it while you will try it, which can lead to a confusion or misinterpretation. I also brought here some transversal skills, those soft skills or a list of C skills that we have related to the 31st century as critical thinking. So ChatGPT or chatbot is considered very appropriate for developing critical thinking. creativity, communication, collaboration, digital literacy, emotional intelligence, because it relates to the success and relates to that moment when the students see that they understood something. Adaptability and self-directed learning. Okay, and now I invite you to access this site. So please write online chatOpenAI.com. chatOpenAI.com. You will have the first, after accessing the site, you will have on the screen login and sign up buttons. Please access sign up. And you will be invited or directed to create your account. You can use Google, creating account with Google. This is the screen that is opening after creating the account. On this screen, you can see that there are examples, capabilities, and limitations. For the limitations, we have limited knowledge of world and events after 2021. So if you're looking for some information related to 2022, 2023, the information will miss. If you're asking who is the president of the United States now, they will write, of course, the previous president of the United States, because ChatGPT doesn't have access to the information related to 2022. On the left, here we have some chats. So chats that we started with the program, some questions, some ideas that we are looking for. As you can see, I had a research about green entrepreneurship, chat English teaching workshop. So I was trying to find information about how to organize better a workshop, about how to teach English with the use of ChatGPT. Another one is charitable challenge apps and finding silver lining. So I will show you through the example of the first one, finding silver lining. It relates to one of the lessons that I had with my students. And the topic was write a short story. You are going to write a short story which finishes with the words, every cloud has a silver lining. Okay. What is it, a silver lining? If ChatGPT is currently down, one more time, enter it, access it, because there are a lot of people online. The second time you access it, it may work. I see your messages. Okay, who managed to access? Let's write in the chat. Who managed to access ChatGPT and is on this site? Okay, please write in the chat who managed to access the site, managed to log in, create an account.
Lena, maybe you can just take a look or help with a link. I tried to open several, but they're all different. I've reached OpenAI and some others, but I'm not sure if I found the right ones.
Okay, wait a second. I will share, because of course, if we share, if we access the link. Okay.
You'll never believe it, but I even found a Russian version. Do you want to see it?
So I suppose that they would like to have this race with the Americans and create a better one. Okay, the second link I've sent, it works. For me, it works. Please write those who manage to access the site. And on the screen, you have the possibility to log in. Okay. Larissa, did you manage to access it?
It's still working. Verifying I'm human.
Like humans, yes. I am in the chat. Doamna Toliko, very good. I am in, but I don't see the menu in the dark side. Okay, yes, the menu will include the threads of the questions you will look for. There is my menu. Okay. Okay, I suppose some of you manage, and I invite all of you to try. You'll understand later why, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So this was the task. I started with it, and of course, I received a lot of questions from my students. An unfortunate incident, an unexpected positive outcome, and how it changed the main character's life. I didn't like these prompts, think of. I didn't like because I thought before future continuous, and I thought before this task, I thought about future perfect, and I wanted somehow to connect future continuous, future perfect, and I wanted students to learn this silver lining expression. First of all, I was looking for what does it mean as silver lining? And I asked ChatGPT to provide me with the explanation that would be suitable for the students and would show the range of the explanation that would help them to understand this word. And what is lining even without question mark? And you see the possible answers, descriptions, examples for this word. The second prompt that I was looking for was, I would like to create a conversation using silver lining. And I asked ChatGPT to do it for me. And as you can see, here is the dialogue that can be used during the lesson to explain the students what does it mean every cloud has a silver lining and how to use this expression when you are talking about some activities. Here is the dialogue that I used during the class to explain this expression. the next activity that I created was to show the students that everything is possible. My dear students.
Lena, but we see only the welcome to ChatGPT. We don't see what you do.
Sorry. Yes. Now? Is it seen?
Yes, right now.
What is lining was the first prompt that I was looking for. And I brought the definition to my students, explaining them what does it mean, a fabric lining, building lining, silver lining, dental lining, pipe lining. Then I asked myself, what else can I bring? Because the book doesn't provide a range of the activities. It has a listening activity with silver lining. But I wanted something else, something more. And I looked for a dialogue. So ChatGPT created a dialogue for me. It was a specific dialogue on a specific topic. You won't find it as it is written here on the sites online. So it is a unique product created by ChatGPT. Another aspect. So the task was to create a story, but during the story, I wanted the students to use the grammatical topics that they've learned, especially future continuous tense and future perfect. Thus, I told them, please use these tenses and have at least 5 verbs at future continuous, 5 verbs at future perfect. My question to ChatGPT was how the future mobile apps can change the world. And in this description, please write 5 sentences at future continuous, 5 at future perfect, and in conclusion, write the silver lining statement or expression. And as you can see, the application created a coherent text. In the near future, mobile apps developers will be constantly updating and improving their creation. About future perfect, by 2025, mobile apps will have revolutionized the way we live, work, and interact with one another. And if we are looking for closing, just like every cloud has a silver lining, the constant evolution of mobile apps presents endless opportunities for growth and innovation. So the aim is that we can create authentic material related to the content that we have in the book and create that linkage necessary when the students learn a grammatical aspect, when they have a content that is interesting for them, to make that linkage between grammar and the topic that we would like to teach, and also to use writing, to use dialects for speaking and reading, and grammatical patterns. After having this piece of writing, I asked myself if I can check reading comprehension, because we can come with a text created by ChatGPT, but we would like also to check if they understood. And I wrote, ask 5 questions on the text above. And ChatGPT provided me with 5 questions that I can apply to my students to check their understanding of the text. And the last one, I told you at the beginning of this task, showing how it worked, that I didn't like because it was to relate to something that happened in the past. It means that my students won't prove that they know future continuous and future perfect. They would probably do not think about that they have to use it, but I really want it. In such a way, I looked for different prompts for writing essays, including these silver lining expressions, and have a look at the variety of the prompts provided by ChatGPT. Discuss the impact of technology in society and how it has created a silver lining in your lives. analyze the role of positive thinking in overcoming obstacles and finding the silver lining in difficult situations, and other much more interesting possibilities. So finally, I can say that the man here is the famous founder of Shutterstock, Paul Hennessy. He said that I think there are two choices in this world: to be blacksmiths that are saying cars are going to put us out of the horseshoe making business, or to be the technical leaders that bring people, maybe kicking and screaming, into the new world. So I suppose that we can upgrade the books that we are using with the content that we feel that is appropriate and related to the needs of our students and able to motivate our students. We can create some activities with the help of ChatGPT that would be our unique tasks and would switch to the goal that we really have, and we won't be stick to the book, to the aspects that were created by somebody. Would help us to personalize the learning and the teaching. This sayings being said, I invite you to a challenge. So your challenge is, first of all, to write in the chat, to write a topic that you are interested in looking for using ChatGPT, a topic. So my recent topic that I researched using ChatGPT was green entrepreneurship. And I checked for the skills that I would like my students to learn through a special course called Green Entrepreneurship. I looked for the green jobs, I looked for the green market, I looked for the organizations that are helping different countries to promote green market. And finally, I looked for the green possibilities that would help to reduce and reuse and recycle. I'm looking for the possibility to create a course. And this was one of the ways that I explored the possibilities in a very easy and short period of time. What about you? What topics would you be interested to research using ChatGPT? Please put them down, and we will try in the next 5 minutes just to write several questions, and your final message, feedback would be like, did you get the answer? How was to work on? Okay, Alice, please write this. What kind of questions do you think that you can start your research using ChatGPT?
Maybe in general, starting with tourism as an explanation, and variants of tourism, because nowadays ecological tourism is very popular. Maybe we can switch our topic to the ecological tourism indeed, and maybe not only ecological tourism, but maybe national tourism, so ethnic tourism, to be just more specific.
So what questions would you like to connect this topic to teaching English?
We have in various courses, we have ecology and dealing with ecology and health. Maybe we can just incorporate this very topic in our courses.
Okay, but what questions would you ask ChatGPT to help you to
maybe
implement?
to find locations in order to visit and to write a research. The locations which are very famous, popular one.
So you think that this course may be connected with English language learning? So you would like to provide me with a list of 10 places for environmental, Alice?
Local tourism, authentic tourism, and ecological tourism.
Mm-hmm. Is it environmental tourism okay or not?
We can try, and we will see, and we will see the results.
We will see. So you see how it works. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And it will provide us 10 places. Okay, it takes time. It really takes time. Okay. Let's have a look to see other people.
It writes to me that it's too busy. Come next time. Oh, the same.
Yeah, the same. Okay. Okay, I see. Then let's try another topic. So 10 places from Moldova visit.
Maybe 10, the most popular one.
The most popular, yes. You can start with a short list of 10 places. Then identify from this list only those that are very popular. And you will get another list from the one. So it can select, ChatGPT can select. I see that it is really busy now. I will show you how it worked with green entrepreneurship while I was doing my research. First of all, I wanted to know what does it mean, green entrepreneurship, as you, Olesya mentioned. Then I wanted to see what does it mean, sustainable business practices. Then I looked for green jobs. What kind of green jobs can be brought as a topic to the students? Then teenagers green jobs. And I looked for the content why the teenagers would like to continue learning in order to become workers in the field of the green economy. Green skills needed. And I found that the students need technical skills, environmental sciences and sustainability skills, business and entrepreneurship skills, problem solving and critical thinking skills, and data analysis and management skills. Role of the schools in promoting green jobs. I looked for this answer because I wanted to connect the topic that I'm going to teach probably with other subjects that are in the schedule of the students, to discuss with the teachers and see if we have something in common and we can implement this, project, let's say, of developing green skills within our students. And I found here that the role of the school refers to offering green jobs training programs, integrating green jobs content into the curriculum, hosting green jobs fairs or events, encouraging green entrepreneurial activities, and building partnership with the green industry. These are the advices that ChatGPT gave me when I looked for the possibility to involve school in such projects that are related to the green entrepreneurship. I know that many of our schools from Moldova are part of the different projects, international projects that have the aim to promote sustainable goals. And why not during our lessons when we have similar topics, or at least we have content that can be designed. It is possible to use ChatGPT and explore, create authentic aspects that would hit two targets. One of them would be the content, the grammatical pattern, or the skills that are taught And another aspect would be that target related to probably the projects that your schools take part at. Okay, for those who accessed ChatGPT, tried, got an answer, can you write a message in the chat?
It refused all my topics. Very busy.
Very busy.
I asked climate change. I asked traditions in the families. I asked it beautiful place. No, sightseeing in London. Nothing. Nothing works.
Did you write, please?
Maybe because we all right now try to do something here. Maybe a little bit later.
I told you that during the first 5 days, there were more than 1 million users registering this site. So it means that it is not only because of us. There are a lot of people exploring, and there are a lot of big corporation organizations that are looking for information on specific topics, on specific aspects that they would like to develop in their companies. And majority of the workers are looking for the answers in ChatGPT. I've spoken with a lot of people abroad, and they mentioned that ChatGPT is their team co-worker. It means that they can ask ChatGPT everything about a specific topic, and it will be accessible 24 hours to answer. Of course, probably now it is, that model is currently overloaded with other requests. Yes, I see the answer. So unfortunately, it doesn't want to work now. Probably it's still busy. I will try to do it. I didn't close it since the time I open it. I explore it every time I think that I can save time and do something in a very limited period of time and bring a result. So let's write something here to try days of the week. It's busy. I suppose it's busy. If it doesn't answer, firstly to the questions. Okay, so we exceeded the time. I would like to hear your impressions about the possibilities of the ChatGPT. I hope that in time, in a week, I will hear some more answers of how it works and what possibilities does it give. But now, after I presented you the possibility I did with my students related to the topic of, you see, the days of the week. Which day is the most difficult? It found a spot for me and allowed network error. Okay. What feedback do you have for this application? Does it deserve to be used by us teachers? And of course, if it is controlled during the tasks assigned to our students, does it deserve to be used at the schools, in the schools?
I think yes, it's easy for us teachers, facilitates generation of text based on our vocabulary. It's it's very difficult to find an appropriate text employing the vocabulary you need to teach. It takes hours of research, but now you can generate it if it finally starts working.
Yeah, did you manage to try it?
I tried and gave very easy topic animals, but it didn't work. I hope to have a response soon.
Okay.
I have get the answer, but I ask right now a very short question. Name the seasons in the USA, and it writes spring, summer, and the month. Spring, 3 months, and so on. Okay. So.
Okay. Yes, I like it. Somebody else? Okay, then let's reveal the entire story, how it started. I will share you, I didn't tell you that I used ChatGPT to get inspired, and you'll see what types of the questions did I ask. So first of all was methods teaching English using ChatGPT. So I was looking for a workshop plan, and it provided me a plan. Here I have the thread with the questions and answers that were given by ChatGPT. Second one was sample of activities, exercises, and other learning materials for teaching English using ChatGPT. And you see that information that was given, I tried to see if it's worthy and include it in the presentation. What skills would ChatGPT develop while using it for teaching English? And it gave me the skills, advantages and disadvantages. And you see the list of advantages and disadvantages. Why to teach using ChatGPT? So is everything related to the art of asking questions? Tasks here is a mistake, but anyway, ChatGPT understood. Tasks for students for improving social linguistic competence with the help of ChatGPT. And I checked what kind of tasks can be created with the help of ChatGPT that would help me as a teacher to develop social linguistic competence. Also, I looked for tasks for students related to teaching pragmatic competence. And I got the answers, and you can see here. So you can teach pragmatic competence using ChatGPT, asking students to write different dialects, greetings, and introduction, requesting information. So the way that they are asking the question also helps students. This way helps students to improve the process of asking correctly the questions. Apologizing and thanking. This is why usually asking the questions we try to write, please. Schools that teach using ChatGPT. I was looking for this information because I was curious. Are there any schools that really need and would like to use ChatGPT in the teaching process? And I found out that ChatGPT is not aware because it started to work only by the end of 2022 and doesn't have this kind of specific information. What core competencies can be developed with the help of ChatGPT, and we spoke about them. What transversal competence can ChatGPT develop, and why is ChatGPT banned in the schools? Besides the articles I presented to you, so here is again a kind of analytical answer of ChatGPT why it is banned. So they can criticize their activity. The program is not defending itself. It's not saying so. It's something that is not correct. They are writing the correct information, looking for reasonable answers to prove that it is really an artificial intelligence. It's a generative artificial intelligence of the process. So this was my research. It took me about 1 week to think how to organize the presentation, what to bring, how to show that it deserves to be used in schools, especially by us, by teachers. And one reason was to bring and to create some authentic materials very easy. Thank you very much for attending this seminar, and I hope that in your free time, when you have it, you'll create some materials that would be very appropriately used during the class and will be motivating for your students related to their needs and interests, and would help you to achieve the required performance results from the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot, Elena. I have a question. I can see. Can this information be printed?
Yes, it can be printed. It also can be saved. You save it in this way. You transfer it to Word and you print it.
Thank you a lot. It was very useful information, interesting enough. So we have found some more answers right now, and it really works. Thank you a lot.
So be aware of this phenomenon, because you may ask your students if they know about it, and at least you will find, are they one step forward or backward? But as my students answered, I understood that some of our essays, when they got good marks, could be already written by ChatGPT. It was in the previous term, in December, but some of them brought really good, and I checked them for plagiarism and nothing was found. Later on, I found that also writing texts or written texts created by ChatGPT can be checked. Already OpenAI is developing a platform that would allow teachers to check created texts, and especially the research papers that I suppose will be a lot among the students at the university. So they are already creating them and applying them as, okay, it is an unique research paper. This is why they are developing now a site that would allow the universities, the teachers, to check for plagiarism different research papers. Even AI is creating authentic materials that is not possible to be found online with the plagiarism checker sites that we use. Thank you very much one more time, and I wish you to have a great weekend, because tomorrow is, thanks God, is Friday. And I hope that you don't have so many lessons. Thank you. It was a pleasure for me to present this topic. Larissa?